Hey everybody, David G here, founder of the Internet Marketing Party with my two very good friends and special guests, the one, the only Mike Chang and Dan Rose from Six Pack Shortcuts. Mike's only going to be here for a few minutes because I just kind of want to start out by saying, you know, a lot of people first found out about the Internet Marketing Party when I had Frank Kern speak on the stage. I got to tell you something. These guys are my personal friends. I work out with them.
Show them your guns.
Yeah. Twice a week. And I got to tell you, it was easier to get Frank Kern to speak at the party than it was to get these guys to speak. And I say that because one of the big lessons Dan's going to talk about today is how to get free traffic from YouTube. Because these guys recently did about $1 million launch with virtually no affiliates at the beginning of this year. So if you want to know how to get that kind of traffic for free, he's going to show you some simple things you can do in this presentation. But stay tuned, because when they speak at the party Thursday, May the 9th, here in Austin, Texas, they're going to show you some samurai tactics that are free YouTube video getting stuff that they wouldn't share here publicly, but we'll share with the members of the Internet Marketing Party. Plus, they're also going to share with you at the party their paid traffic strategies, which is how they ended up having something like 166 million views on YouTube. All right, just a quick little video to show you the number of views that Mike Chang, Dan Rose, and Henry Fuentes all have. You can see here we're at YouTube Six Pack Shortcuts. They have 1,387,000 subscribers, 196 million video views. And so you can see that this is live. There's a couple things that I want to say before Mike leaves here to get back, and that's the main thing is the reason that it took me so long to get these guys to speak at the party is because of their discipline and their focus. And the other thing that's been real personal and near to me was you know, for the longest time, I've had a BMW 745, and I got involved in internet marketing because I saw all the cool, exciting stuff. And I asked Dan before we started recording if it was okay for me to share this. I hadn't asked you. But for guys that are running you know, they've got over 30 employees here in the office. We're here at their office. They have over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, travel all over the world, been featured on the Steve Harvey show. More and more people are just picking them up. They're becoming celebrities. And with that kind of fame, with that kind of wealth, when I first started hanging out with these guys, it turns out Dan drives an older model small Audi that, like, you know, just, you know, he's like waiting for it to break down.
Mine's even like worse.
3 years. and Mike
I drive like a hoopty Honda.
It looks like it's been in the demolition derby. It's all like busted up.
Yeah, got a big old dent on one side.
So before we get into the whole traffic strategies and all that, I just wanted to share something that I learned, and that was it really, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this publicly, but you know, I used to run a really successful business, and to me, successful business meant driving a certain right kind of car and living in a certain kind of neighborhood and having a certain type of lifestyle. And when I started hanging out with you guys, it kind of opened up a whole new realm of running a successful business is about focus and it's about discipline. And you guys could probably buy a Lamborghini cash if you wanted to, but instead, you know, I was talking with Mike Nadek, your operations guy, and he's like, they spend that money, they take that money and they spend it back into building the business. So
yeah, I'd rather buy a $3,000, you know, Mac badass computer for the guys than to go ahead and waste it on the car. The car's gonna depreciate while awesome hardware can go ahead and make us more money.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to say about the discipline, because even here, you know, both of them, they said we're willing to be on it, but I could tell by Mike when he walks in, he's like ready to work and he's got that game face on. So anything you want to say before you get back into making some more YouTube views?
Definitely look forward to talking to you guys, and we have a lot of different YouTube strategies to share. On my end, I can tell you guys on how to go ahead and get views without spending any money, and just how to make your videos take off a lot more. The important components in every single video, and why people what would make people subscribe to you versus just watch your video and leave. So definitely look forward to it, and see you guys soon.
Hold on. I'm about to tell you the real secret to Mike Chang's shortcuts and guns.
All right, fine, I'll share it. Let me do a quick step for you. Woo! Feeling slow.
Let me see.
Ooh, look at that.
Those things
That's all shake weight, baby.
Those things are the size of my head. All right, man. Thanks. We'll see you on Thursday.
See you guys.
All right. So now the more serious of the Six Pack Shortcuts. Daniel Rose. So Dan, what are we gonna show folks today?
So hopefully we can talk about some free traffic. Yeah. We'll talk about some free traffic tactics, and in this one we'll concentrate more on things that you can start doing right away to get started on YouTube right now in like, the next half hour. Yeah, then at the party we'll share some more advanced, like more of the ninja free traffic stuff, and we'll talk about the advertising too.
Cool. Well, I'll set the timer for like 10 minutes.
All right.
And see how much.
Just rapid fire.
Yeah. If somebody's getting started and because we've got all kinds of people that come to the party, what would be the simplest techniques that you could give that would apply to anyone, that's even if it means that YouTube's not for them?
Yeah, actually, I would say that's probably the first thing. Like, even if you listen to this and what you determine is that YouTube is not a good fit for your business, then you actually learn something pretty valuable. I think YouTube can be great for most businesses, but there are some where it's not such a good fit. For example, if you had a massage parlor, the cost of giving the massage is going to be so much that the economics of your business is not going to support YouTube really. If you do something like financial planning, yes, you could be successful with YouTube, but it's not something which is very visual compared to say something like fitness or dating or something like that, where it's very demonstrable. So while you could do it with something like that, if your economics were right, it's going to be more difficult basically. So the first thing I would say is like ask yourself, is YouTube something that I really want to make the #1 priority of my business and focus on? So I would say if you have something that's very visual in nature, where seeing it in video is much more powerful than reading about it. For example, with our business, seeing the exercise is way easier to know what he's doing and to do it yourself than reading about it or seeing a diagram or something like that. The other thing that I would say is that, again, like if you have a local business, you can make it work, but it is going to be more difficult and you're going to have to do a few things differently. Ideally, this is going to be something where you can sell to anybody, anywhere in the world. If it is, then you're going to have a big advantage. And the other thing I would think about is, do you enjoy YouTube? Because the thing is, me personally, I love YouTube. Like, I love going on YouTube. I love watching videos and making videos. It just really fascinates me. But if you hate making videos, if you hate watching videos, even if it makes sense financially, it's probably not going to be the best bet for you. But if you satisfy all three of these, I would encourage you to really look at YouTube and think about focusing on it with a good chunk of your business's resources.
Nice. So, and you just covered something that I was about to ask you, and that's like, if somebody doesn't meet all three of those criteria, that doesn't necessarily mean they shouldn't do anything with YouTube, but they aren't necessarily going to be able to. Your business is like a big stream, a big fire hose of the flood of where your leads and your traffic comes from is through YouTube, right? So
yeah, for sure.
Everything Dan just shared has to do with if you're really wanting YouTube to be a giant channel for leads and business. So doesn't mean totally stay off of it. He's just talking about like that kind of focus, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think again, like even if you have disadvantages, anybody really can go out there, get a few thousand subscribers, make a few $1,000s a month. I would encourage y'all guys though to not have that mentality. What I think is a big problem in social media, probably the biggest problem in social media marketing, is that people don't focus. They just kind of scatter their resources and they do a little bit of Facebook and a little bit of YouTube and a little bit of Twitter and this and that and the other thing. And none of their profiles are really big enough to dominate the market and really make money. What I think though is that the person who really makes the most money, the most profit, and builds the best business is the one who's #1 in the niche, even if you're #1 in a really small niche. So I would say if you're going to go into YouTube, say, I'm going to commit all the resources, all the time, all the money I have into this until I'm #1 in the niche. Don't go in just trying to make a few thousand or like trying to make a few videos here and there. It's something of an all or nothing proposition. Either you're going to be #1 or you're going to be nothing on YouTube. I mean, it's very harsh, but yeah, really that's the way it works. On YouTube, the way the algorithms work, which determine who gets the free traffic and who gets the views, is the most popular channels get the most free traffic and continue to become more popular.
So it's kind of like in the real world where that saying, the rich get richer, the poor get... It's very real in YouTube, huh? I've heard Adam Lyons talk about that too. 10
times more than the real world. It's like, say if in the real world, if you got rich, someone just handed you even more money. And since then you were more rich, you got handed even more money. That's the way that YouTube works. And then imagine if you were poor, if nobody would ever hire you or give you money for anything, no matter how good it was. It's kind of difficult when you're first starting off, but once you break into that top level, that jet stream, then it gets really, really magical.
Just multiplier effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Okay, so now that we've kind of given folks an idea of who is a good idea for you to continue listening and who you can go out and start watching other YouTubes now. What are some of the free traffic tips that you can give folks that are either not going to heed your advice and not go all in, and you're going to be scattered. Because there's going to be some people who, no matter how good of advice you give them, they're just not going to listen. And then or people who decide to go all in, what are some of the ways they can just get a boost with some free traffic that then you'll share even more at the party?
I would say the number one most important thing is going to be your selection of your niche. That is really the decision that will trump all other decisions. And if you're in a bad niche already, trying to improve things is going to be kind of like you're trying to if you have something bad, it's difficult to improve that. It's much better to start again with something new. So I think
like polishing a turd.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for right there.
So give it. Are you going to talk about some of the niches that are good? And
and I think the mistake a lot of people make when they first go in, if they're like a small person first starting off, is that they try to go after a really big niche and they figure it's going to be a good thing to be like, the number 5 guy in the weight loss niche. But really, being the number 5 guy in the weight loss niche or any niche sucks. You never want to be the number 5 guy, no matter how big the niche is. What you really want to do is you want to find a niche small enough where you feel very confident that you can dominate and, basically be 100 times better than the next best person. One example of this on YouTube that I think is pretty open right now is the paleo diet. I don't know if you heard about that, but there's very few channels dedicated completely to the paleo diet. It's for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's like a type of diet where you basically only eat meats, vegetables, and fruits. And it does have a lot of niche interest, but it's not as huge as, say, the general weight loss niche. So I would say, like, if you're first starting off, think of some little topic that you're the expert in, where you can make really great stuff better than anybody else, and really try to dominate that niche before expanding into a bigger market.
To a general market.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So what are some of the niches that just wouldn't work?
This is actually what kind of makes it difficult, because the niche that I really don't recommend is things actually like what we're doing right now for people first starting off. Like, for example, you see a lot of the stuff we do right now is in the general weight loss niche, but we have a big company now. We have the ad budget and the things to compete with those sophisticated players. Basically, what I would recommend is not imitating the most successful YouTube channels, which are going after the big general markets. But when you start off, do what we did when we were first starting off. What we did is we focused on 6-pack abs, like that one thing very, very narrowly, like how to get abs. And we focused on that for a while, and slowly over time we started expanding into more of a bodybuilding niche, and then into more of a general fitness niche. I guess a few examples of small things you could go after. Let's say rather than teaching people how to make money, you could teach people how to make money on Twitter, or how to make money on Facebook or something like that, or on YouTube. I guess that would make sense. Rather than teaching people dating advice, you could teach people some type of niche dating advice, like how to maintain 2 girlfriends at one time, or you know what I mean, something that isn't.
Or for the women watching, how to maintain 2 boyfriends.
Yes, at one time. Maybe even better niche.
yeah.
But you get the idea though. Like, basically, if there's some real strong competitor, you don't want to go right at that competitor. You want to do something where you could be the best easily.
Just like move over 1 or 2 slots.
Yeah.
Horizontally.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
That same niche.
And then once you're established as number 1 in the niche, you can always expand into a bigger niche and a bigger one.
That's really cool. Really, really cool. And so those are more conceptual type things. And I guess that dovetails into how to get free YouTube views, free YouTube traffic, because you're saying if you're doing that, then you're capitalizing on. You're basically you're building your home on a free, open territory rather than trying to build it in a crowded space.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess probably the most important thing from this video is better to be number 1 in a very small niche than number 5 in a huge niche. You know what I mean? As long as you're number 1, it doesn't matter as much how small the niche is.
Right. Well, very cool. It's kind of cool because I learned a couple of things here, even as much as we hang out. And one of them is I was expecting you to give like, oh, well, here's what you do. You stuff your keywords this way, or you post your video on Facebook, and that's how you get the free traffic. And things like, I was expecting it to be more tactical, and you went strategic and went,
And I would say, like, those tactics, those type of things, we can talk about that a little more at the party. But I think that once you have your niche right, then those tactics can really make you blow up. But if you chose a niche which is too broad, no matter what tactics you're using, it's probably not going to work.
I love speaking in analogies, and the analogy that comes is like if you wanted to repaint a room, and most people go, what's the fastest way, the quickest, coolest way to paint a room? And if it's dirty and you paint it, well, the paint's gonna fall off because you didn't take the time to do it right. Nobody wants to prep a wall to paint it, but if you do it right,
Yeah.
the paint job will last forever.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly, and that's really the advantage you're going to have over everyone else who knows similar tactics. If you have your strategy right, then you're going to have a big advantage.
So if somebody who's sitting there going like, "What's the best brush technique?" It doesn't matter if you don't first lay the foundation right.
Yeah, and then once you have laid it down, though, it does matter, and it does really help you a lot.
Cool. Any parting words before we say goodbye? The alarm just went off.
Nah, I just want to say, definitely looking forward for it. Yeah, I've been friends with David for a while. We've been working out. He's been getting swole. Yeah, he's been wanting me to come down for a while, so I'm glad I could finally come down, and I think get some really good stuff to share. So
Very
definitely
cool.
excited.
Well, we'll see you guys and gals on Thursday, May the 9th at the Internet Marketing Party here in Austin, Texas. Dan Rose, Mike Chang. I bet a lot of the Six Pack Shortcut team will be there. I know
We'll be doing shots, getting drunk.
there's some people that are flying in from around the country that want to get to spend some time with these dudes because they're seriously, they stay focused. They don't go out to a bunch of masterminds. They don't go out to a bunch of events and stuff. They stay focused. They build their business, which is what I recommend for you. Thanks,
Sure.
Dan.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ow. Just kidding. See you on the inside. Go to internetmarketingparty.com/tickets/Austin. We'll see you there. Bye-bye.